Hello, I am Asia Watkins, and today I will be presenting a presentation based off public discourse ethics, and my specific topic is public accountability. But I'd like to say it is the power of public accountability. So let's get into it. In public versus private accountability, I think first, we as a society are currently in danger due to the loss of public and private life. I personally like to think because of the information age, we are in this current position between social media and the internet and what people are voicing now. People are more upfront and honest about their feelings as they were not in the past. So, public and private life are two different communicative arenas that provide that natural dialogue, and each calls for the other to take accountability. So, if we're in a situation where we're choosing to be public about a particular topic, we need to be sure that certain parts of that public conversation are private, and vice versa. Another thing right now happening in this historical moment is we as a society need to recover the importance of clarity of the public arena in order to ensure we pay respects due toward the engagement of public and private life. So, what is public accountability? I like to break this down in three different elements. First, we have public discourse, and that's engaging in dialogue about ideas of the community and inviting that diversity of perspectives that require thoughtful public engagement. I think the purpose of public discourse is not to just stand on one own standpoint, but to invite all standpoints from all backgrounds, all culture, given that key diversity element of public discourse. And that draws back to public accountability by being able to engage in that. Also, public decision making involves discerning course of action while also recognizing other alternatives. I think this is so important. We get so caught up in our own decision and demeaning and undermining other alternatives, and that's where we go against that element of public accountability. And last but not least, differentiation of public and private. Both spaces are equally important, but the key element is that separation, understanding what public is and what private spaces are, and making sure that we give that line, that thick line, not even the fine line, because right now I feel like in our current society, it is a blurred line. So we want to make sure we stand clear of that. So, in this case, what would be the public good? So, the good are four things. We highlight the importance of free speech, which is everyone's own right, and also allowing multiple voices of contribution. I mean, that is what life is all about, being able to voice those different concerns and welcoming that. And also carrying a sense of professional civility, making sure we can conduct ourselves in these spaces. And most importantly, creating a safe space for diversity of persons and identities. A lot of people don't feel like they can take that public accountability when they're not in a safe space. So meaning we shouldn't, you know, attack people when they're giving their opinions and maybe things that they don't stand for in their disagreement. So creating that safe space for all people. So let's use idea gardening from the book as an analogy. So the first principle, the soil. The soil in this case is that public arena. And what we want to do is protect and promote that soil. And in order to protect and promote that soil, we invite different types of soil to see, how this one works and being open to this one. So we decide what a weed is and what harvestable crops are. And in idea gardening, basically we're protecting and promoting the diversity of those crops, which are those ideas of different people and different backgrounds and different cultures, and keeping that garden safe, which is that public arena. And I really like how the author ties it up with be careful what you call a week. So the good of accountability, we want to make sure that we have those, again, diversity of ideas and engagement of public decision making. And then a public account for continuing a communicative practice or changing that practice, which I think is so important. We don't want to just have this standpoint for one situation. We want to continue those practices for all spaces, for different subjects, for different conversations in that public arena. So here's a great example of public accountability. So, while this was more of a popular culture example and a quick and simple one, it was a great example of how she embraced public accountability. She was open to the opinions of other people. She embraced them, she listened to them, but she also gave her standpoint and she owned that. I really like how they brought up her tweet, something that she mentioned in the past, and try to use it to build their case and build their argument about some of her past comments. And she acknowledged it and she gave forthright an answer that invited those ideas and why they might have felt that way. But then she gave her own standpoint from her experience. So I think this is a great way to showcase public accountability, especially when you're dealing with the press. So, to give more of an academic standpoint, I have the peer-reviewed journal Discourses Between the Public and the Private, Transnational Families at the Crossroads. So this article talks about the challenges of raising a child based on demography. It talks about the differing laws of welfare services, especially when it goes about adoption and how to place children based off of language and culture and how it is used to address normal family life in public and private discourse. So the problem is the notion of family as a private space, which is common in most families. You know, having your family is a more common and private place for you. You're not just going to invite anyone to your home. It's a private space. But now this article talks about how we differentiate the two. How do we separate the two of public and private expectations toward family life? So I think this is a good demonstration of that public accountability. And these are my references. I hope you guys enjoy this video and have a better understanding of public accountability, the power of public accountability. Thank you.